is September 12th. It is about 70 degrees out. This is the beginning of the fall dearth, our fall flow. We're coming off. We did not do this on the 10th because it was very rainy, very overcast. It has been for the last week. Yesterday was the first decent day we had. Gave the bees a chance to go out and find more resources and get their game back on. So what we're doing now is a quick inspection to make sure they're all good after the last 2 weeks of rain, week of rain.
Was the box with the drones, or the other one was the box? This one was the box with the drones, right?
I don't remember. I do see kept brood. Well. I do see larvae, wet larvae, which is good, and really bright yellow pollen.
No, you're good. And I wanted to get a representative shot. Now I'm.
So, in preparation for eventual winter, assuming the worst but hoping for the best, we have reconsolidated the bees down into one brood box, which is good for the cluster. The top brood box is essentially empty, frames that they haven't filled throughout the year yet. They can still fill it for the next several days, but sometime in later October, we will do the pre-winter mite treatment, and so having all of the occupied and working frames down in the one box will be convenient at that point. So all of the bees are now consolidated in the lower brood box. We'll do that with both hives. So we have moved on to Peaches' hive, which the bees look a little bit more numerous. Kimberly said longer.
They do. They look a little bit longer to me.
We're going to do the exact same thing with this hive we did with that one. We're going to consolidate what we can on the bottom. Unless it doesn't make sense when we get in here.
Building a ridge. But a lot of bees for the top box. Do you have bees on your side too?
Only a few.
Oh, no, not really.
The other side of their ridge is right here, and it is seriously a ridge. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. They look like busy little bees.
Wait for the other side?
Sure.
We gotta clean that.
Yeah. Lots of bees. So this is the most populous frame in the bottom brood box. because oddly most of the bees are upstairs. Or were. How we're moving them down. Some of the sugar water crystallized on the bottom, and the bees seem to be enjoying that a lot.
Hey everybody, this was the September 12th hive inspection. Again, we couldn't do it on the 10th because the weather wouldn't allow it. Both hives were inspected. Both hives were reduced to a single brood box versus a double brood box to prepare for the upcoming cold weather. The smaller amount of space will help them regulate the temperature inside the hive, and they never did really use the second brood box much anyway.
I didn't use all of the first brood box.
That's true. That's true. So they're in single brood boxes right now. The other boxes are still there. They're still out there. They just don't have access to them. They're above the cover. We cleaned out both top feeders and refilled both top feeders and moved the top feeders down so that they only really have access to the first brood box and closer access to the feed in the top feeder. So that's a good thing. What else?
Goodness. I don't know.
Well, I have to say that today's inspection was a little disappointing. I thought they would have attacked the fall flow a little bit harder than they did, and they might still. They just maybe not haven't yet. They've really only had yesterday to look around after the rain. But
bringing in bright yellow pollen.
They were bringing in bright yellow pollen. Really fluorescent bright yellow. I don't know what flower that is, but it's awesome, and we need to find that. In other news, Kimberly has just we have just attended a wildflower fall festival seminar thing, and learned about planting wildflowers and got a bunch of wildflowers and from Amazon and the stores and whatnot. So we're planting whatever we can to help the bees stay happy in the future. And of course, I have neighbors doing the same thing. Sharon Womack down the way and Marilyn Hill Baxter is over there planting their bee-friendly gardens, even though neither one of them have bees. In fact, Sharon's allergic to bees, but there you go. She likes them nonetheless, and she calls us when she thinks she has a bee issue, which is a great place to be. Anything else?
I think that's all for this week.
All right. If you haven't...
And the screens on the feeders didn't work.
The screens on the feeders do not work. They were intended to keep the bees from drowning, and instead they found their way under the screens and drowned anyway. So, this is one of those... Okay, well, we tried. So we took the screens back off and inverted one of the platforms. And do you want to talk about the dry feed?
What?
The dry feed in the other box? When you said that they're eating the crystallized sugar?
Oh, yeah. Just that the sugar crystallized, and they seem to really enjoy that.
Kind of like candy, I guess.
We can't drown on this one.
We don't have to swim. It's amazing. All right. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or just call me. You guys have a great time, and we'll see you for the next video.